Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, part 2 of my interview with Steve Hill. He's the CEO and president of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, here for the whole show, and it's an amazing one on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
'Tis the season for the Holiday Cash Express at Tamarack Casino. We're trimming the tree with weekly cash giveaways, including a $5,000 winner every Saturday, plus $70,000 in grand prize stocking stuffers, including 2 $15,000 Holiday Cash winners guaranteed. It's a good time to win at Tamarack Casino.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Save money and take transit. Did you know you can ride the bus all day for less than what it would cost you for a gallon of gas? Plan your trip now by going to rtcwashoe.com.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
I'm Mike Swanson and welcome to the Winnemucca Big R.
Hi, I'm John Walker. Welcome to Big R Lovelock.
Hi, I'm Rich Martin. Welcome to Fallon Big R.
My name is Braden. Welcome to Big R Fernley.
Hi, I'm Kelly. Welcome to Big R Sparks.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, this is part 2 of our conversation with Steve Hill. He is the CEO and president of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. And thank you for agreeing to take this time because I know how busy you are.
Happy to do it.
All right, so coming up is Formula One. I've been down here twice in the last week, and the construction is crazy trying to put all this together. The stands, for people that are not aware, there are stands being built in front of Bellagio all around this circuit. You have heard, obviously, a lot from the residents of Las Vegas about this construction. My question is more, what have you learned so far that you can apply to next year? Because this thing, according to Commissioner Segelblum, is booked for 3 years, but with the possibility of an additional 7 years beyond that. And the company, Formula One, has already made a huge investment in property in Las Vegas, so I'm thinking that's not going to go to waste. But what are you thinking can be done to remedy what's happening to the citizens that have to go on the Las Vegas Strip and the employees that have to go on the Las Vegas Strip?
Sure. Well, first I'll point out this is going to be the biggest event in the world.
Yes.
In 2020.
Agree. And I'm sorry, I should have started out with that. It's what, potentially $1 billion weekend?
Yeah, it's our projection is $1.3 billion in economic impact. And that doesn't include the revenue that Formula One gets. That's what's spent in Las Vegas that stays in Las Vegas. And not only that, the spectacle of this is going to be seen all over the globe. I mean, yes. We couldn't buy this kind of marketing, and even we've got a pretty decent marketing budget.
Yes,
it's
you do.
Still, we're going to have over 100 million people watching Formula One in Las Vegas on a Saturday night on a weekend that has historically been the second toughest weekend for us. It is now going to be the best weekend of the year. It is going to make November the best November we've ever had. It might make the fourth quarter of this year the best fourth quarter we have ever had. I mean, it's a remarkable event. And the difficulty in the construction in the first year will never have to be matched again. We don't have to repave the circuit every year.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah, no, this is every 5 to 7 years, and you don't have to do the whole thing in a particular year. So, 6 years from now we can do a little bit, and 7 years from now we can do a little bit. So all of the really disruptive and the time that it took, because that's taken months, you won't have to repeat on a regular basis.
And people should know you have a construction background, so when you speak of this, you do know.
Yeah, I was in that industry longer than any other. And so it will get substantially better simply because it won't be the first year next year. Now, on the east side, particularly where we're putting just an awesome bridge over Flamingo, we're learning this year how to do that the most effectively, how to time that with other east-west thoroughfares so that you don't have traffic clogged at Sands and at Flamingo and at Harmon all at the same time. Also, the Boring Company loop that we demonstrated at the convention center has worked so well and is now moving out into the city, we think is the ideal solution, or one of the ideal solutions to traffic issues around Formula One. It's underground, it is completely out of the way, you can use it regardless of what's going on above you. That, we're focused on kind of expediting that so that it can provide a part of the solution as soon as possible.
And you're also, as far as I understand, with the employees on the Strip, you're getting them to a central location and busing them, so that makes it easier for them to get there?
Yeah, while the race is going on, there will be a couple of different places that those employees can go, and their employers will let them know where those are. But one of them is at the convention center. We have 4,300 parking spots there. Right. We've got a monorail station on our property, so that's a great way to get to work. Particularly if you're on the east side of Flamingo or of the Las Vegas Boulevard, because all of those properties along there have stations as well. But we will also have bus services to supplement and complement the monorail.
With the amount of infrastructure that's going in for Formula One, it seems stunning that it's going to get taken down and put back up each year. I mean, that sounds like just an amazing project in itself.
Stunning is, probably an adjective that you could use to just talk about whatever aspect of Formula One you wanted to talk about. It is. It's an amazing thing. I mean, like I said, that bridge went up. It is 760 feet long. It is built to interstate standards. You can run loaded tractor trailers over it. It's fine. Went up in 10 days. Is going to come down in 5. There's 2 more of them on the south side of the circuit. All of those viewing areas. I mean, the grandstands across from the paddock, 19,000 seats, temporary.
Where are they going to put it all?
Well, a lot of it, Las Vegas Paving has held up their hand and said, hey, we've got some land that you can use. And, Speedway has said, hey, we've got some land you can use. Some of it will be used elsewhere and brought back. It belongs to others and they're renting it and can be, multi-purposed given the timing schedules. It's remarkable, but it's also something that's handled.
Let's talk about the Netflix series that's on Formula One. I'm presuming that there will be a version for Las Vegas that will air at some point in the future. That has to be an incredible promotional vehicle with the way that they shoot everything, in addition to all the stuff that you'll be doing, through your agency.
Yeah, the Drive to Survive series is how I, not necessarily became a fan, but learned really what Formula One is.
That's what we've all been doing.
Yeah, yeah. I when they first called, I kind of treated it as homework, and then I got hooked. I mean,
right.
You get excited. Netflix has done a fabulous job with that show. Formula One's done a great job with it. The opportunity that brings for Vegas is, hard to beat, because it's
worldwide.
It's free, it's there, it's worldwide. It is what is driving the momentum.
Pardon the pun.
There's a bunch of them in there. It won't be the last. But the momentum behind Formula One's popularity, especially in the United States, is really driven by that show. And something that some people don't realize is in every other city other than Las Vegas, there is a race promoter that owns the race. They sell the tickets, they provide the circuit, they invite Formula One to come, they cut Formula One a check, and Formula One shows up and has a race and leaves. Here in Las Vegas, Liberty Media, which is the parent company of Formula One, owns this race. And their commitment and investment, as you alluded to Las Vegas is what has allowed this to happen. I mean, it wouldn't have happened without it. But it also makes this race really important to Liberty Media and Formula One. And the combination of our brand and their brand being the the focal point of this season and one of the culminating events is a pretty spectacular opportunity for us.
Have you had much time to be able to visit with John Malone?
I have not visited with John Malone. I've spent some time with Greg Maffei, who now runs Liberty Media, but not with John.
Malone is one of the most incredible people in the broadcasting field. I mean, he has just been there forever, from the earliest days of cable all the way through, and it's a remarkable thing that he's involved. All right, let's take another break because there's so much more going on we have to talk about after this time out.
The casino industry drove Nevada's economy for decades. By the 1990s, however, the state's sole industry was in sharp decline. Many were losing their homes, many were leaving the state. Is Reno on track to be the Detroit of the West? Was an October 2010 Reno Gazette-Journal headline. Nevada knew it was time for a change and a time to diversify. Story County took that lead, took risks, invested tens of millions transforming its desert into a place of opportunity and a future for Nevada families needing something new. That desert now provides thousands of high-paying tech, advanced manufacturing, and energy careers at companies like Tesla, Panasonic, Google, Switch, and Redwood Materials. Story County transformed Northern Nevada forever, and the tide of opportunity has raised all vessels through construction contracts, high-paying careers, and the power of payroll. Tens of millions have been generated in sales and property tax, permits, and other revenues for Reno, Sparks, Washoe County, and for all of Nevada. Enough, in fact, to generate a surplus after public services are provided. And best of all, a sustainable economic climate has been created, enabling our children to stay in Nevada and live prosperous lives in their home state. Story County, improving Northern Nevada one industry at a time.
What do you count on? You count on your power every day. At NV Energy, we've always powered what's important to you, but we're not looking at the past. We're focused on the future. While our standards are high, our rates will remain low. And our commitment to renewables isn't just meeting standards, but leading the way. Because you can count on more than just your power. You can count on the company who brings it to you. That's our promise. You can count on it.
Safety is the #1 priority for the trucking industry. Over $7 billion a year is spent on technology like this electronic eye that will apply the brakes automatically. But the most important factor for safety is the truck driver. These hardworking men and women who safely move over 70% of our nation's freight and 94% of Nevada's. We thank you because trucks move America forward.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Steve Hill. He's the CEO and president of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, the Sphere. Now, if it weren't enough with Formula One, which is huge, now you have what's almost a life-altering project with the Sphere. My wife and I went and stood outside of the Sphere last weekend and just were mesmerized just by what was going on. It's so huge that standing close to it, you can't fit it all into your phone to take a video of it.
Right.
Then my director and I went to see the movie the other night, so we actually got to go in there. What a phenomenal building. I presume that you have seen it all.
I have. It is, words are pretty hard to come by to really give people a sense of what it's like. But, seats 18,000 people, and the sound quality in there for a concert is like a symphony hall. I took a video of the graphics on my phone, and when you play it back with the sound, it sounds like you're playing a soundtrack behind the video. The sound is so great that you can record it on your phone in the middle of 18,000 people, and it sounds like a recording. The visuals are, irreplaceable. I mean, you just can't do anything like that any place else. Having that in Vegas is a singular draw. The advertising on the outside, it goes viral every time they put something new up. So, it's not an inexpensive place to advertise, but it is so worth it.
Right.
Because you get so much earned media for the placement that it's just great. And the visual that it is added to this city just brings more eyeballs to Las Vegas, more attention. And MSG's done that all for us.
Well, and the thing that's amazing is it's not like you didn't have attractions already, that the skyline wasn't something stunning already. And whether you're flying in or just driving by, I mean, it is just amazing. All right, so with everything, there are good points and other points. So one of the good points is that it was brilliant that Las Vegas Sands at the time sold the land for the Sphere to MSG. Then, we walked from the Sphere on the bridge to the Venetian. So you've got anywhere from 15 to 18,000 people either coming out of a concert or the movie to go into that property. That's great. But the Uber situation, the taxi situation is kind of crazy. And what has been brought up by several people, including Commissioner Segerbloom on the show the other day, was why can't we put in a monorail station, even if it's temporary? Now, you and I have talked about this before, that there's at the time when we talked, and that's probably a year or so ago, there was a 10-year lifespan left for the monorail. Now we're probably down to about 9 years. You can't get the cars anymore. It's hard to get the parts. Is there any way to extend the life of the monorail? Because you seem to be getting so much more use out of it than anybody would have dreamed. And it seemed like, a station at Venetian would be the perfect thing. And now they actually would want it rather than when it was first built and they definitely didn't want it.
Yeah. The monorail has exceeded our expectations since we bought it 2 years ago. Public.
Because you didn't even actually, that wasn't really part of your plan. You just needed that so that you could do the Boring Company deal, right?
Well, that's a part of it. It's an important transportation system. It's particularly important in the absence of the Boring Company ultimately replacing it. It's 5 million people a year that ride on that if you put those folks on the street, you're just exacerbating the problem we've already talked about. So it's important that exists, and it was going into bankruptcy during the pandemic, and we didn't want to see that happen either. So we bought it for about $20 million all in. It's public record. Last year we made $5.5 million on that $20 million investment.
Which is amazing in itself.
And it's going to be better this year. We're on a pace that will exceed that $5.5 million. So we're starting to look at, is there any way to extend the life of this? The trains themselves are, probably a $250–300 million cost to replace those. So when the trains are actually obsolete, that system will have to come to an end. But we still have an analog communication system on the monorail. We are replacing that. It's a $4 million investment. So we're investing in making that life as long as we possibly can, and we'll see how long those trains last.
In Cuba, they've taken 1950s cars and they've come up with new parts and refurbished them, and all over Cuba there are American cars from the 50s still cranking along that you can't get parts for in this country. Right. So maybe there's a communication between Las Vegas and Cuba to get some of those guys in. All right, let's take another break and we'll be right back with Steve Hill after this timeout.
Pro Group Management is the place where companies can find workers' comp solutions that are designed to meet their specific business requirements. As regulations evolve, Pro Group takes a proactive approach to clear the path to make sure your business stays ahead of the curve. Knowing your workers' comp program is optimized, you can focus on other important matters related to your growing business. Pro Group Management, workers' comp that works for you.
Like a traditional handmade basket, Retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
It's the $200,000 Cars and Cash giveaways at Carson Valley Inn. Cash and prize drawings Thursdays and Saturdays. Plus, win a 2023 Ford F-150 or we'll pay you cash instead. Don't miss your chance to play and win. Cars and Cash at the Carson Valley Inn.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Steve Hill. He's the CEO and president of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. So the Fontainebleau finally coming online, and it was really nice to drive down Las Vegas Boulevard and see the signage up now. And that is going to be a remarkable addition to the North Strip and right by your office.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. It's a fantastic story in a number of different ways. It's a great property, and I think they're going to do exceptionally well. The fact that it is now not a 60-story hulking blue empty building next to our convention center is really important, frankly. The difference between a decaying building next door and a really vibrant attraction next door is huge. And our customers are thrilled about it. It's complementary to what we do and what they do, and I think we are to them. And that kind of synergy, we have that with other properties in the neighborhood, but having that one added to it is really going to be a benefit to the city.
Are you hearing any rumors, and you don't have to mention any specific names, but about the property adjacent to Circus that Phil Ruffin owns, that is vast acreage? They just had a huge festival on it last weekend. Is anybody, kicking the tires on that at this point, do you think?
You'd have to ask Phil. I really don't know.
Yeah, and he's not talking.
Yeah.
All right, so we haven't even hit the Super Bowl. I mean, good Lord. I mean, we've gone through all this other stuff.
Oh, yeah, that.
And oh, yeah. What is that going to do? I mean, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. It's a remarkable event, too. I want to give a shout out to the host committee, which, has put together hundreds of, folks from throughout the community to work together to make this the best Super Bowl ever. Our goal here is for the NFL to want to be here every year. They probably can't do that.
Right.
But we want them to be here every year, and hopefully, get it back on a, more regular basis than any place else. And I'm confident we're going to do that. And a lot of it is just this community knows how to do this. They've all come together to make it happen. The host committee's done a great job. The NFL is, they've done 57 of these. They know exactly how to do it. They're great partners for this. The experience that we've had working with them on the draft and a couple of the Pro Bowls has been really beneficial because now we know each other really well. We know how they work. We know whose responsibility each aspect is. It's just a really great team. It's going to be a fantastic week, and it's one of these marquee events that, indicate how far Las Vegas has come and how mature as a city and a destination we are now.
And how far the NFL has come, when in the past they wouldn't even allow Las Vegas to advertise during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that wasn't that long ago. That was 21 years ago, where we've tried to run the first What Happens Here Stays Here ad during the Super Bowl, and that was just not allowed. What they've seen since then is a couple of things. One is what we've always said is that Nevada is the gold standard for gaming regulation. We are, and that's been maintained. Gaming is proliferated around the country. You can drive 40 miles from wherever you live and place a bet on a sporting event. And what the professional leagues have found is that when people are betting on games or playing fantasy football or anything along those lines, they're adding enthusiasm and fans to the game. And so it has become actually synergistic and not something that is an obstacle for the league. And that difference has been exhibited in Las Vegas, and the league see it and want to be here.
Do you have any idea how many support people are going to have to be here for potentially a month or so before the Super Bowl to get all this set up?
Yeah, it'll ramp up into the several thousand. I mean, we'll have media here. There's several thousand media passes that go out, and they're here for 10 days. So, it starts in the hundreds and then ramps up into the thousands.
So at this point, how many friends do you have? And I'm just thinking, could I get a ticket for this? And of course, your answer has to be, I'm sorry, I don't have that.
And I actually don't, just to make it clear. So I have potential friends who then are not so happy when they ask.
I don't have time for you to answer this because I want you to think about it, and maybe the next time you come back we can talk about it. Just did a couple of shows with Rosemary Vasiliadis and Joanna Jacob out at the airport talking about Ivanpah Valley and the new airport that's coming. 6,000 acres for the airport itself, 17,000 acres for the surrounding, which is vast. And I'm just thinking with what you did with the Boring Company at the convention center, where you can do all kinds of entertainment down on that platform, what can you do with a brand new airport? What ideas could come out of that? So that's food for thought for the next time we talk.
Rosemary and I have talked about that, so happy to fill you in.
I would love to hear it. Thank you so much again for taking all this time. We really appreciate it. And
thanks
continue. Good luck, and what a great job you're doing. We really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
7 at 7 is a newscast built for your smartphone. It's a 7-minute newscast available every weekday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. at lvrj.com. We don't waste your time, and we give you the day's top stories.
We at the RJ have noticed some similarities between us and a certain BTS character, RJ.
Plus the latest in Las Vegas business, weather, health, and entertainment news. 7 at 7 streaming now on your smartphone.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
Modern boutique Ahern Hotel and Event Center sits at the heart of the Las Vegas Strip. 2 floors of meeting and event space are ideal for groups and conventions. Stay in one of 200 luxurious rooms and suites. Brand your event throughout the property. Flexible event spaces make for easy planning and personalization. Take over the entire hotel with a full buyout option.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers, and thanks to everyone at the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas for their help, including Don, Shane, Crystal, and George. We'll see you.